Welcome to Inmate Tea with AMP. In today's episode, we're joined by an incarcerated individual sentenced to life without the possibility of parole under North Carolina's Structured Sentencing Act. He's coming on to share a story and shed light on the Prison Resources Repurposing Act, which is House Bill 625 and Senate Bill 681. This legislation has the potential to bring meaningful change to the system, offering hope, second chances, where right now none exist. Together, we're going to explore this bill and the impact that it could have on the lives like our guest Jabari Watson's and also my co-host Pig. Both of you are in the North Carolina prison system with life sentences and have no access to the possibility of parole. So we've got to get into this topic and really explain to our viewers the importance of this. Yeah. Well, welcome to the podcast, Jabari Watson. We're so glad to have you back on. Last time you blessed us with your voice on this podcast, with your singing voice. I hope that you can do that again today because it was amazing and we always look forward to you coming on and singing for us. Is that something you're going to do for us?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Always.
All right.
This song right here that I'm going to do is a song that, me and Pig, we've been doing time with each other for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Since the very beginning, 19 years ago, almost 20 years, we've been doing this since we was about 20 years old. Yeah. And this was a song I did at the talent show. And he wanted me to, he said the world needed to hear it. So I told him I was going to, let y'all hear it.
Okay.
I guess I call it an oldie but goodie.
Okay.
Yeah, it's, for those of y'all that's listening, this is something that I've seen this man perform, and I've seen officers, inmates, the superintendent, the whole prison showed up and showed out. He performed it that morning, and he did so well that they asked him to come back that evening and perform again, and the whole prison stopped. Literally, the whole prison stopped to come and see Jabari sing this song and perform. And if y'all seen Usher, if y'all seen Chris Brown dance and sing, but before Chris Brown was Chris Brown, this man was doing this in prison. So 20 years ago, when we were just starting out in this, we were at Berkeley and he performed in a talent show. He performed this song, and he can perform it today just as good as he did back then, if not better.
Okay.
Without further ado, let's get out of his way and let him do his thing.
Absolutely.
No one else can make me feel so long. Oh, you got me messed up in the head. Every time I pick you up. Oh. Thinking you're gonna leave me, like it's just that easy, but I can't let you leave me alone. Girl, you got me messed up in the head, he's dropping every time you make a call. Oh, what's wrong with me? I'm so going over you. What's wrong with me? I just don't know what to do. Ooh, 'cause no one else can make me do these crazy things. You got me searching through your car, staring up your thinking crazy things. Like you trying to leave me, like it's just that easy. I can't let you leave me alone. Girl, you got me messed up in the head and I'm torn in between the two. Oh, 'cause you got me messed up in the head. My heart was not prepared, yeah, you got me messed up in the head. My heart was not prepared, yeah, you got me, my Heart is in the palm of your hand. Oh, 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 yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
You did an amazing job, Jabari. Gosh,
You
God
killed
has
that right there,
blessed
bro.
you. He has blessed you with this
Thank you,
amazing
thank you.
voice.
I started singing at a young age in church, but I never really had any confidence in my voice. But my grandma used to tell me when I was young I could sing, but she was probably the only one I believe. I was really shy. But when I got locked up at 20, and I was about 23 years old when I really like opened up, discovered my talent with singing. I never really pursued it in the world. So, that's one of the things that about the repurposing act is the fact that we get locked up young at a young age. A lot of us 20 and younger, like me and Big.
Yeah.
And so we don't really develop as men. It's one mistake that could change our whole trajectory of life, and we don't get an opportunity under the Structured Sentencing Act to not only reform, and when we do reform, and under the Fair Sentencing Act, we don't have the opportunity to show the world that we men. You know what I'm saying? We're not the same person that we was when we got locked up. And because it's like, okay, we sentence you as under 21. You can't smoke. You can't, you can't buy liquor. A lot of things you can't even do. But they could turn around and say, oh, we're going to sentence you to a life sentence and never give you an opportunity to even re-enter the world as a grown man.
Yeah. And the Prison Resources Repurposing Act would give incarcerated individuals like you and Pig, the possibility to access a map, correct? So that you could obtain your freedom after so long, and after you've proven that you're ready for to come back into society.
Yes, ma'am. After 20 years, and with the Sentencing Repurposing Act, it's not just you do 20 years and you got an opportunity to get out. It's criteria that you have, the educational, job. It's criteria that you have to fit to show that you're actually rehabilitated. And then after the fact, after you get out, you're still under the probation. It's not just you do 20 years and you get out. It's certain criteria that fit, and that's what separates the people that deserve their freedom, that earn it. You know what I'm saying? The opportunity to earn it. And then because this is supposed to be the land of second chance in America, at least giving people the opportunity to separate the two. Okay, who's really earned the right to a second chance, and who really has to have it, that's just in their character to be the person that they are. The people that deserve to stay in here because they had the opportunity, but they failed to show the opportunity. You can't separate the two if everybody's just structured under the same thing, but their crimes might not be as heinous as another crime,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm glad you broke that down right there for our viewers, because I don't want there to be any misconceptions that the people that it's become available to them, if this bill becomes a law, then they would have to work for this. This isn't something that's just given to them. So I'm glad that you kind of broke that down for us right there for our viewers.
Jabari, with this repurposing act, our viewers need to understand that as me and you, when we first come in here, there was not as many resources as they are today, even though the resources are limited today. But we took the opportunity to obtain the education that we do have. And yes, when you come in here at 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 years old, you're a young man, they give you a life sentence. And they're saying, hey, you're destined to die in prison. You will never go home. You are not rehabilitable. You are a skid mark on society. We're just going to throw you in prison and throw away the key. And you come in here with some very violent people. At the time, a lot of these guys that was in prison, they knew they had a release date. They had life, but they had life and they could get a map, what we're shooting for. So you come in here and you had people that would try to take your manhood from you. You had people that they were just trying to rob you. You had people in here that was doing some wild stuff, and me, and like I know you had to stand up for yours and be like, hey, listen, I'm here to do my time. I'm not here to be violent, but you're not going to run over me. So our infraction history is not the greatest. But if you look at the past 5-10 years of our infraction history and how we have improved because we grew out of that. And that shows the rehabilitation stage that we took. We took it upon ourselves to improve ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, now, brother, they ought to be a door that's open. Somebody ought to take time to say, hey, those guys have made changes. They took an opportunity to make a change.
Just not for freedom, but for our rehabilitation and the change that we made. We wasn't looking forward. We was looking forward to freedom, but it wasn't to shoot for freedom. It was just our character, who we was, that we want to make a change for ourselves. We want to better ourselves while we live here doing it.
That's right. I mean, that's just like what me and April do today on this podcast. I don't do this to make myself look good. I do this because I obtained this education. I obtained this knowledge, and I want to help others. I want to help somebody's family. I want to help some guy that's coming in here. He don't know nothing about the system. I want to help somebody that's been in here locked down for 20 years that don't know where to go or where to turn. These guidelines, they're not even designed to allow a person like me and Jabari an opportunity to go before a parole board and allow the parole board to view our accomplishments, our achievements, our progress from 24 years old when we first come into prison to where we're at today as men. I'm 41, Jabari's almost 40. And they're not looking at the men we are. We can dictate ourselves and carry ourselves in an upright manner and a fashion today that we would have never thought about doing 20 years ago. So, then that we're able to change who we are and become something greater than we were in our past. And we know that our future has so much promise and so much opportunity. And these people are refusing to realize it. With this Free Purposing Act allowing us a map, they could set up a whole program, and we do that program, and you can actually see who we are and see our progress.
So, and one of the main things is that we need the viewers, we need people's families to go and to support this. Make
Absolutely.
it public. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Tweet about it, talk about it on Facebook, start the conversation. Everybody has somebody. There's so many lifers in prison that I know that everybody in North Carolina knows somebody was doing a life sentence that they want on the streets that deserve to be, deserve to at least be considered for this bill to be passed as law. But what we need is people to support it, because the people is what really changed the law. We can say this and we can put this out, but in order to make the Senate and the governor and the people move the change, is the people that's out there. Y'all are the ones that hold the power. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and this bill would also help with the overcrowding crisis. This would be a remedy for that, to allow people to come back out and get out of the prison system. The prison systems are very overcrowded and very understaffed, and it's a huge issue. So this would be a very big remedy to that.
Yes, ma'am. Exactly. It would help a lot, man. I'm talking about it's so many like shorter staff, and there's so many people they getting ready to come to prison, but they keep postponing their trials. And they sitting in jail for 5 and 6 and 7 years before they even come to prison. For the simple fact that is they don't have nowhere to put them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's so many, and, we have more prisons in North Carolina than anywhere else in the country, and they still overcrowded. So that goes to show that the road that we're going down in America as far as incarceration and what they're using it for, and the way the laws the laws are not set to equally benefit society. They're just not. You know what I'm saying? it's more focused towards just, punishing people for the wrong they do instead of correction or rehabilitation, because at the end of the day, that's what you want to do. You want to focus on correcting and rehabilitating people, making people to be better people so we can get out in society and be beneficial to the human race as a whole. But we can't do that if we just take people and no matter, even beyond the life sentence, and crime in particular in general, the way the law is set up in North Carolina, is they want to just more focus on punishment and rehabilitation.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's a key thing, Jabari, what you just said. They're focusing on tough on crime rather than saying, hey, what is triggering this crime? Where did this crime start at? Where do these kids start this? Okay, a lot of this stuff starts in our schools. A lot of this stuff starts at the lowest level because kids are subjected to this. So it's not that we want to be violent. It's that sometimes environments breed this type of action. It's not on our moms. It's not on our dads. We go to school, and this is what's bred into the schools. Because when you go to school, the first thing you see a police in the school. The reason you got to have a police in the school is because of somebody could get access to a gun. Some kid could get access to a gun and come to school and shoot up the school. Or some kid come to school and, so it begins there. And then it goes from the school to prison pipeline. There's something that's called this. And you go from the school to the prisons. And then when you get into the prisons and you giving these young kids, because most of these guys in prison, like me and Jabari, we were very young that got very, very long amounts of time. The first time, not the second time, not the third time, the first time. So when you're given this type of sentence and you're put in here for 20 years, and a lot of the programs, they have these 2-year degrees. They have these associate's degrees that men can earn in prison. But you know who's excluded? The lifer, the person that's doing these long sentences. So if you got a 2-year degree program and you're telling this person, hey, you can't take this program because you got more than 10 years. Why? When this man that's sitting here with this life sentence should have the opportunity to take this 2-year program. And you think if he's taking a 2-year program in business, as me and Jabari, we just finished a business course. I'm getting ready to enroll in another business course. So once I finish this, if you allow me to go take this 2-year business program, and once we come up, if they would pass this bill, if this repurposing act for the map is offered to us, now we can take a correspondence course that allows our families to be able to pay for this course, and you can go from an associate's degree to a master's, a doctor's degree in business. When we walking out of here, we're walking into a career. Mm-hmm. We're walking into something that could take us through the rest of our lives. This is true rehabilitation. This is transformation, not only of the body, not only of the mind, not only of the spirit and the emotions. It's all one juggernaut. You're transforming this man that you're saying was broken, that you're saying was damned, that never come home again. He's transformed his life into a citizen that can go out there and make $70,000, $80,000, $100,000 a year walking out of prison. But you're not opening that door for men and women like me and Jabari. You're leaving us in here and saying, hey, you're not rehabilitative. You're not worth the time it would take a teacher to allow you to go in that class and learn. And this is a fact. One of the teachers that we were in her class, she said this, we're some of the best students she's ever had because we go in and we're eager to learn. We realize we messed up and we want that opportunity to better ourselves. And we're trying to put ourselves at the top of the list if something ever changes, to give us a chance at one more shot at freedom, a second chance at life.
And a lot of us, too, on top of that, have never been to prison before they was given a life sentence. Like myself, I was this is my first prison bid. I've never been to prison before, never spent one night in jail, and I've never seen the light of day since. I was 20 years old. My first time ever spending the night in jail. You know, so the way that the structured sentencing is set up right now is that's just what it is. They're not looking at you as your situation or how your crime is. It's just this factor and this factor under the structured sentencing. It doesn't matter what your history is. Like, this is what's going to happen. You know, and that plays a big part in it too, because a lot of people, have been back and forth to prison. And, they have their reasons or they, mental health reasons, as I touched on in my last interview. But a lot of us just was in a situation and was sentenced to a life sentence that's never been in serious trouble before. Yeah, and when you throw somebody in here that's never been in here, never been in prison, and you don't take that into consideration for one. For two, you don't take into consideration the possibility of a man making an honest change. And something that I've learned over the years of being incarcerated, that a person that's been in here over and over and over again, they get a slap on the wrist, where if it's somebody that's never been in trouble, they don't have a record, they don't have a juvenile record, they're not being acted out, it's like they get these sentences where they're not sentencing them the same as they sentence us. And I'm not making an excuse. I'm not making a cry. I'm just saying, hey, let's take a look at our justice system. Let's take a look at our sentencing guidelines. Let's look inside the prison and look at these men and women that's been in these penitentiaries for 20 years with life sentences. Let's come in and take an honest observation of these people and see if some of these people can actually go out there and be productive members of society. Can we be something that somebody will we be a person that you would want us to live beside you? Would you want me to live beside you? No, that is what, and we need somebody to come in here and take a time to look at. Could I be your neighbor? Can I be your neighbor? That's what I'm asking my viewers. Would you want James Conley, also known as Pig, or Jabari Watson, also known as Hotter, to be your neighbor?
Yeah.
And exactly. And this Prison Purposing Act has been brought up, as long as I know, since 2023, every year. And every year it has got farther and farther. So only thing we need is more voices.
All right. Well, Jabari, I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming back on the podcast. I hope you come back on the podcast, because we always look forward to having you on. And we always look forward to you blessing us with your voice, your singing voice, and also your voice trying to bring awareness to major issues like this bill. Thank you to our viewers for tuning into this important episode of Inmate Tea with AMP. Hearing directly from those living under North Carolina's Structured Sentencing Act reminds us that behind every policy are real people, real lives, and real families impacted. The Prison Resources Repurposing Act, House Bill 625, Senate Bill 681, it represents not just legislation, but the possibility of justice, rehabilitation, and redemption. We'll continue to follow this issue closely. We encourage you to stay informed and engaged in the conversations that shape our communities and our futures. Until next time, I'm April and Pig, and this is Inmate Tea with AMP, where every voice matters and every story deserves to be heard.
God bless. God bless.
All right. Thank you so much, Jabari.
Thank y'all.